Welcome to Castle Demon Lord. My name is Toby. I am, the best. Anyways, so what is today? Today is the 11th, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes, April 11th, um, 2023 at 11:31. Today's a really nice day. It's an Aries day, so, we got Mars in control today. He's very powerful. There was a lot of love energy this morning, so I think that is sort of like Jupiter, but I guess Venus does have that power then. I do notice that Jupiter represents love and is the heart of, I guess you could say, love, or he is like the foundation or the roots, etc. Um, and Aphrodite is more of a waking up kind of thing. It's a morning, it's a sunrise energy. Aphrodite, Venus. Um, I'm just doing some research on like different elements and studies of like the directions using the Key of Solomon, the three magical books of Solomon. You guys should get this book. It's really, really amazing. It has all the basic information and it's completely concise and it's extremely decryptable. Like you can decrypt it and understand it very easily. Um, so I was watching Beauty and the Beast and I was pretending the Beast was Robert Pattinson. I was pretending Gaston was what's his name? Sean Mendez. I don't know. That's the best one I could do for that one. Um, and then Brendan Urie was gonna be like LeFou or whatever his name is, with the little fat nose. And yeah, so I was just kind of noticing in the movie that there's tons of symbology from that book inside of it, and it explains like in detail like the process of the story as well. They have, the Star of David in it. They have symbols for Earth and the moon. And then it's basically a story based off of Circe and Odysseus. So you could see that also as Odette as well, the Swan Princess. But there's like lots of transformation, and that's what Circe does is she transforms things. The sun represents Helios, Apollo, the god of the sun, and his protection towards her. And you can just see like a lot of like inspirations where they were not inspirations, I would say. I think more of a detailed example of storytelling. Okay, so let's see. So recently, let's see. Okay, well, let me just talk about the Robert Pattinson thing real quick, I guess. So we know he's in Twilight. That's a really amazing movie. I love it. I don't care what anyone says. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like that's kind of like what the Beast did. He just was like sharing his heart to Belle. Um, and it's kind of like the library is kind of like the DVD almost, and it's almost or not just the DVD, but like films in general. And it kind of represents the mirror that he gives her, so he can always see her or see what he needs, what she needs from him. It was like his gift to her, and that's kind of like how I was looking at it. And I would be really happy if I ever met Robert or even had the chance to like. I would just want to know the truth if my heart is telling me the truth or not. Because what the Illuminati does is they manipulate you through MK Ultra techniques, such as brainwashing you through look a deer. Um, they brainwash you using medias and other like actors as well, so that they can get the story out of you, and you can let down your guard and trust them. But I don't know. I do trust him, but at the same time, I know that there's always a lie blended into it, and I always believe that I'm very hideous or ugly or something is wrong with me. Even though I know I'm very handsome, I still feel like it would mean more if it came from him, like if it was true, because I wouldn't want it to be like false or a lie or just, inspiration, or if it was just, playing the role as the actors do. They usually play the role. Um, this is a really beautiful view. That is so cool. I That's so cool. Wow. Yeah, this morning there was fog, and I had told my grandmother a story about Cersei, how she has the power to block out the sun as she pleases, or to let it shine when she wants. And this morning it was very foggy, and you could see the sun. It was so beautiful and white. It was like a pure orb, and it almost looked like it was like a hole in the wall. Almost, it was really magnificent. Um, yeah. So how do I let's see. So there's a story that there's a titan that comes to destroy Cersei. It like finds her where she lives to come to destroy and harm her, and then Helios or Apollo comes down from heaven and smites the titan, and leaves his blood on the floor, and it sprouts flowers into like a special herb, a white flower herb. What kind of plant or something that represents the sun, like a herb root kind of branch, like a weed almost, and it's named after a beast because that's the correlation is the beast because Cersei's job is she's also representative of Jesus Christ. She works with the swine, she works with the beast, she understands nature and creativity, and they both have the power to absolve um, warriors of their sins. Um, like because you will feel guilty or horrified after killing people, but if it's for war and you're like you become absolved by a very powerful sorcerer such as Cersei. She is a daughter of a titan of the sun and the ocean nymphs, or an ocean nymph, so she is basically, you could say, a tree almost, because she does carry around a wand, and she does have nymphs as attendants. But I don't know. I really like the story. Oh, and the plant that it is a dandelion. If you watch Beauty and the Beast, Belle will run into a field of dandelions, and then she makes a wish, and they fly off into the air, and that's what it represents. Um, it's kind of like you will have this protection on you if you are born of that bloodline of that sorcery, and I know that I have it in my blood for without a doubt, because you can't have that power without knowing how to interpret it as well. It's DNA, it's unlocking your DNA and finding out the answers for yourself, whether or not you want to choose heaven or hell. um we're going to talk about some subjects that have been going on lately. So let's see, we have Gavin Newsom. um He said nope. Gavin Newsom. I think that there's some. I'm trying to destroy him with magic, and I know that he's like starting to come out of the hole now. So I'm just gonna keep bombarding him until I get what I want. I live in California, live in Los Angeles County, so I need him to step up his game because I only make $800 a month. That means I'm very very poor. I'm beyond poverty. And yes, I use welfare or in cash cow fresh for like food stamps, and I have Medi-Cal. So I'm it's nice that I'm safe, but it's also would be better if I was more comfortable and had an actual life and maybe an actual room or house of my own without having to be like restricted by so many laws. All right, so Obama, straight white man. So I guess Gavin Newsom is thinking about running for president, and it might be like some common Democratic thing where Obama might help him. It's something that's popping up. Let's talk Medi-Cal. Okay, that was part of that. I think Medi-Cal should be for everyone. I don't care what they say. I'd rather put money into Medi-Cal than into the war in Ukraine. So, like, I'd rather spend those billions of dollars, $6 billion that they plan to give to Ukraine, like this month. I'd rather it go to Medi-Cal or erasing student debts. Like, wouldn't that be nice? All right, so Helio Piccolo. So there's Helio is the name of the sun, and Piccolo is the name of the flower or the titan that comes down to like attack Cersei and ends up becoming some sort of dandelion, a root, and it becomes like a magical protection for her, and it also attracts love towards her, or opens the door, like it opens the world to danger. um so if you are being like attacked by people, or like that they like scare you or try to like control you or give you anxiety, and it's not necessarily confrontational, but it's emotional, so you sense it and you feel it and it affects your life, you could see them as the wolves trying to like push you to do something with your life. But as well, you need to learn how to fight back and take back your powers. um So I guess Gavin is from San Francisco. I wrote down like some nymph magic would be magical blood. So there's like magical blood in the nymph magic. So like if you've ever seen like a wizard or a sorcerer, they hold a wand and they're really connected to the branch of that tree, and that's kind of like nymph magic. And nymphs, if you look at the human body, it looks like it's a root system, and roots are like very prevalent, like evolution wise. So you can think of us as trees, or you can think of us as fallen stars from heaven, or even from the sun that grew out of the ground and evolved and finally transformed. So you could also see that as like the tree of life or Yggdrasil. Um, so we have at the top, which is the morning or dawn, is Aphrodite. And then we have Helio, the sun. And then we have Ares, which is Mars. Then we have Zeus is Jupiter, but he's to the south. But Ares and Jupiter are connected. So if they're connected, that means blood, because water is Jupiter and Ares is fire, and blood is basically red hot, water that fuels your body. And then Artemis is the moon, and she's the arrow. So when she shoots an arrow and it strikes, it becomes that dandelion or the Mars symbol of that arrow. So that's why Artemis has arrows and she has her bow. Hermes is like the wand bearer, or the he basically helps you open doors, and it's very quick-witted, it's mentality, and it's also the closing of a cycle. So it would be like around midnight-ish, and then it starts on the new day, which is Aphrodite. Here's a little diagram so you guys can see what it looks like, if you can see it. I don't know. Wait, let's right there. Just something you can like look at. All right, so we put Ti, the Grand Hustle. I'm using magic to attack him, and it said I gave you this image. There's a haunted house and the baby. So I guess Kim Kardashian, Ti, and the baby and 50 Cent are trying to do something. So I need to put them all together as like targets for the Illuminati game, so that way they can't influence us or try to manipulate my actions or even escape the punishment of divine judgment. All right, so my grandfather was adopted when he was like a little child, so I don't have my true last name. So I'm trying to find out what it is, and I'm doing a spell called Revelar la verdad el ladrón. So it's reveal the truth and then the thief. So you're going to have the thief reveal himself. So I know that I have an inheritance in my life, and I know that there are humans that are manipulating from behind the scenes to steal or take away my inheritance and my soul rights. My other grandfather, he used to have sugar cane alcohol, and he used to own a barber shop, and he would mix drinks, and it was in Mexico, and they would serve drinks for the customers. And I thought that's amazing because I became a hairstylist and I didn't even know he was a barber. So it just goes to show you what you have in your blood is very important. And they're also called cosmetologists, which are beautifications, but you can also see them as cosmology, which is the stars. And that's basically what stars are, adornments for beauty. And it's like enhancing what is natural and finding what is good about a person inside and out. But these are just like little notes of like how to increase your spell's potency if you're trying to perform a ritual. So they leaked US information, and I put complacent, and then I put complacido, and then I put no complacer. So do not be complacent. And then I put humilde or humilde, and then humble. So that way I can humble my enemies. So I'm going to start humbling members of the Illuminati to the point where they're begging for mercy so they can escape my fury. What I would say is right now is if you're in Hollywood or any kind of Illuminati celebrity, I would suggest you escape the game as quickly as possible, because it's going to get so bad that there's not going to be any mercy whatsoever. So remember that. Nothing is more unnerving to the truly conventional than the unashamed misfit. Wizards represent all that the true muggle most fears. They are plainly outcasts and comfortable with being so. That's a warning to humanity that wizards are very powerful. DoD budget preps for war with China. Muggle born, half blood, pure blood, wizarding world, stuff like that. Okay, what's the purpose? Destroy marriage. Okay, so Mom of 6-year-old accused of shooting Virginia teacher facing charges. And I want to change the script. I put what's the purpose, and then I put destroy marriage, and I also put image of the beast, and then I put what are the stars, and I put they are guides. I put poison and potion together because Cersei was an amazing sorceress where she could create very powerful concoctions from herbs, trees, roots, and waters. I also put Saudi Arabia, and I put cheese mousetrap. So what I'm noticing is a lot of people are falling. I'm putting a lot of curses and jinx on a lot of I guess you could say like marriages, businesses, singers, places of comfort, and I'm turning it into chaos. We're gonna go into that in a little bit. I put no unions and I put punishment. So destroy marriage, no unions, and punishment. So from now on, no one's allowed to get married anymore, and it's invalid and it's punishable by I will say death. I wish there was another word for that because I feel like people will say, well, who's going to do that? Well, it's magic. It's going to do it itself. I wrote down the names of my aunts that are, they are bad people. They're not good people. So I'm doing a spell to like make them reveal themselves and expose themselves. And I'm going to take back my inheritance using magic. So one of them is named Chayo, the other one's Gloria, and then the other one's Marlene. And then I have an uncle named Raymond. And then my grandmother's name was Rosa. And but she was very beautiful, so she gave us like very beautiful looks, you know. And I think she was special. I think she had a purpose, but I feel like um she was just around the wrong people. But I feel at the same time it's a lesson um for me to know that there are people that are evil even in your own family, but it's more important to take out the ones outside of it. That way you can concentrate on the truth, you know. um so instead of fighting my family now, what I'm doing is, if anybody, because you will have dreams of like your family doing weird stuff where you feel uncomfortable. Maybe I like in my dream I was sleeping on the floor and my aunt walked by and she just saw me sleeping on the dirt and she didn't really care. But what I took from that was it's not her that I'm seeing, it's a representation of somebody else in the form of her, because your brain will in Harry Potter, people drink polyjuice potion, and a lot of times a celebrity or Illuminati actor, even a singer, they are really great at being able to transform their looks or appearing as somebody else. So I can tell that there's something going on where they're kind of revealing themselves. So I'm seeing their image or their form, and I'm marking them. So when I meet them in real life, I know who they are. But I know it's not my aunt. It's just a figurative like expression, you know. All right. So, oh yeah, plus she gave us acne. My grandma gave us acne because I have acne. All right. She put us in the dirt. All right. So that's kind of weird how I just said that, but it kind of connected with the dream, and it's like on a different page. That's so weird. All right, and this was the day. This was from yesterday that I took these notes. All right, two boys, falso. Okay. Gloria, Marlena, Dario, Marta. Black husband, white husband, and then my cousin Miyoshi and Andrew, and they're both black and Hispanic. And then I have one called, okay, and then they're named Dario, Chayo, and then Rosario. Okay, yeah, but they are for sure. I think what I did, oh, I did a spell called Apollo, which means apologize or apologetic, and that's one of the lessons you learn from Cersei is about apology, because she teaches you how to be apologize for your sins, and that's why she redeems you. Um, so I know that's my story, because every time I read the story of Cersei, I know it's about me. It always is. It never changes. Um, let's see what else we got. Okay, so that was the end of that one. Oh yeah, Hillary Duff had a baby, and I was like, all right, nobody's allowed to have babies anymore. I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody in the Illuminati has to like just they need to quit. You know, like I don't care how pure your intentions are. The chaos is coming. All right, so um, this one was from last night. Okay, then we have this one. I'm missing a page. It's somewhere. Let me find it real quick. So missing page. Oh yeah, I took a lot of notes. Hi everybody. What's up? Yeah. So imagine if I dated Robert Pattinson. I don't know, but they said that Cersei had like fiery sun eyes and fiery sun hair, and that's kind of like how I am. I basically am in the sun all the time, you know. Cersei, a dreadful goddess with lovely hair and human speech. Those are perfect examples of what I am. Communicate with the dead, Athena, love, flashing golden eyes that shot out rays of light, hair like fiery rays. Ovid's the cure for love. Ovid is David. So I'm going to teach you guys something about Christianity and religion and Greek religion. Helios kills Picolis the giant, and he is the father of Circe. He has magical herbs that, or she has magical herbs that she could bring someone back from the dead. She could bring people back to life. From the blood, the herb Molly, Battle, Malos, white colored flower. I do have a pit bull. My brother has a pit bull named Malo, and the white colored flower is that herb. You know, like once you blow on the dandelion, it represents like a death, but it also represents a rebirth because those are seeds, and that's like the blood. As I was saying, let's see. I'm gonna show you guys an example. I think I did one on here somewhere. Um, Basically, the symbols represent a certain type of flower. So the Venus can be seen as like I guess you could say almost like a fruit tree. This could be the fruit is the sun. Mars can be like a little flower or something that grows out of the ground. Um, Four, it could be seen like as an evergreen tree because they stay alive during winter, or just trees in general with leaves. Artemis is the moon. Hermes is another form of a plant, but you could also see it as the dandelion's part when it's ready to be puffed on and blown away because you can see the moon. So it's like telling you that it goes high, like it follows the air. This is earth, this is water, this is fire, and then this is air up here. So you can see how they connect one way or another. Um, and it's also representative of time. That's why you have Cogswell in Beauty of the Beast. He is a time dial, and that's what David is, day, time. So we're learning, what these why we have the words we have and what they represent and what significance do they hold in our lives. Okay, I need to find the I took a lot of notes yesterday. I was having fun. Okay. Okay, the mother's name of Circe was Perse, which could be seen as Paris, Peri, Perse. Or you can see it as well as like Paris, like the little insect from Pokemon. He's like Paris, Paris. But you're like, why is his name Paris? And like I get he's a parasite, but why does he have like mushrooms and herbs and they can heal people? Well, Perse taught Circe how to use herbs and potions because she's a nymph. So you can kind of get an idea of like how art and stories influence, even words can influence. You can also see it also as a way of MK Ultra as well. Circe purified the Argonauts for the murder of Absyrtus. So Absyrtus is like absurd or absolve. So it's absurd that these people should be punished for harming someone. I think they killed a woman or something, the Odysseus crew, and they basically became um, purified by Circe. Um, she had primeval beasts on the island with her, with a medley of limbs. So she had a menagerie of different humans that were transformed into beasts with various parts. So maybe like hands of a monkey, horns of a goat, and like maybe a snout of an elephant, things like that. Slitting the throat of a suckling pig and letting the blood drip on them, she purified the Argonauts. The swine is representative of the Jews that sacrificed Christ, and basically it's a revenge spell. When you sacrifice a lamb, a Christian will perish. Not but 10,000 Christians would perish. That's why they stopped doing it, and they kept fighting so they could take back the holy city through Christianity instead of Jerusalem issues. Anyway, so there's two lovers of Circe. So she had Glacis, which is water, and then Scylla is the love of Glacis, and it's a dog. It's like a beast from the sea, and she turns it into a stone. So when you say Glacis Scylla, you can think of it as like instilling fear into someone or turning them against themselves or revealing the beasts that are inside of them. Because let's say I did use that spell on Brandon Urie, so it's going to reveal his true nature and the true nature of those around him, and it petrifies them so they turn to stone and crumble. So those are just examples, and they will make sense later on when they take effect or when the effects become um, relevant. So we have Picus and then Canens. So Picus was the other lover. He was an Italian king named from Latinus. So it's the origin of the Latin people or Catholicism. And then Canens, it was a nymph. And Picus Canens loved the nymph. So you could see it as a woodpecker. And Canen dies of mourning after Picus gets turned into a woodpecker. So now he's always picking at the nymph, which is a tree. And that could be, you can see that also as a way to think of how Romans and Italians, they all steal from. Okay, so there's always two sides to things, but with that you can see it's like when somebody's really trying to get some information out of someone, they just keep pecking at them, pecking at them, pecking at them. So it's picus canen. So you transform someone to become obsessive, and that's what happens when you read the Bible. You become obsessed with it, um because you want to know more. You're eager for more. But it's also a great spell to get the people that are kind of like bugging you to reveal themselves, because you can hear a woodpecker like when it starts knocking on the wood. So it's kind of like it's like a signal or alarm to, so you know when you have your enemies nearby, or when they're listening, or when they're trying to get information out of you. But what I was saying about the Catholics, and Latins, it's supposed to be a small race. It's not supposed to be so huge. And right now there's so many Hispanics, so that's why there's this chaos happening from it. But I think that there's a spell to kind of work this out, because it the blood will listen. All right, so what they have to do is like drink the potion, and then you can transform them into a swine or a pig or whatever creature you want. So we're gonna see people being transformed. Ulysses and Circe turns men to swine. Mirror behind the throne. So there's a mirror behind the throne. Odysseus looks at it and he remembers why he was there in the first place, to meet Circe, to redeem them of their sins. And then it's just interesting because the herb, the Molly herb, which is a drug-inducing herb, it gave him the chance to see like what love is, and he realizes he loves Circe, but he also realizes Ulysses and Circe are kind of the same person, in a sense that Circe is an example of both masculine and femininity. So she has three brothers and three sisters. So you can see that as like three boys and three girls. And in my family, that's exactly what we have. It's girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. And so Ulysses and Circe turns men to swine. Ulysses has a ship, and Ulysses is also seen as death or Hermes, and it's the end of the night. So you can kind of see that as um, an example on the chart. Let's find the chart real quick, because I can point it out. So this would be Odysseus, and then I guess you could say this is a bit of Circe, but kind of right here as well. It's just you kind of have to keep working on it and make your own interpretations or understandings, but they all connect. It connects. Usually, it does if you know what you do. Um, Docile lions and wolves. She had lions all over her island and wolves as well. When you're watching Beauty and the Beast, there are wolves just running around, and it kind of gives you an idea like, oh, okay, so the lion and the wolves are the people around you. Like, you can use this magical energy to have the wolves and the lions attack them, or you can transform other people into that. Or I don't know. There's a lot of options, and I have a couple. I'm just working on that one still. Lures any and all with lovely singing and weaving an enormous loom. So that goes to show you she's a fashionista. She makes clothes, and that's what I do. I sew, and I love to sing, and I do lure people in. I am very good at that. And she drugs them to shape. So she drugs people to the shape that she wants them to be, and she knows she is pharmacos, meaning knowing many drugs or charms. So that's really cool stuff. But here's like an idea of like a censer. She also represents King David and the Solomonic magic, because you have incense burning. You also have all the Star of David. You have wands. You have the cup. You have different forms of magic. All right, so let's start off with this. Latinus Latium Agrius. Those are like the names of the Italian king or the woodpecker, or even the name of her children. So she created the Latin race. Pacifa, Medea are her sisters. So we have a Pacify and then a Medea. Um, I put Medusa because she turns people to stone. So I think that's kind of like close to like maybe that's like the origin story of Circe, or the origin story of Medusa was Circe. King Minos was married to Pasiphae, and they had a minotaur. In Beauty and the Beast, there is a minotaur statue holding up one of the pillars or columns. So it's letting you know like who's part of the story. Um, but you can also see Pasiphae as like a pacifist, and she let all these things happen, and she created a monster. Um, she had another son. Circe had a son named Pan or Faunus, son of Circe. So you could also see Circe as Pan because he has the same power she has. So it gives you an idea like how they go back and forth. Sometimes they need the girl, sometimes they need the boy. Like it's just helps the story and it gives it its own way of educating yourself and it's something you could pass on orally and even make stories and it has proof. Like you can learn from it or create records or history from it. The dark deities are her companions, which are Chaos, Nyx, and Hecate. My niece's name is Hecate, and I'm so happy. And we have my other niece has a cat named Nikki, which is Nyx, and then Chaos. So Nyx is the river that sends you to hell. So you can see that as Odysseus, Mercury sending you to hell. Hecate are the doorways, which are the moon. And then, well, in Solomonic magic, you open doors using the moon, and they open like answers, like who's harming you or who's wishing bad on you. And then we have the dark deity Chaos, and that's what I'm going to be using on humanity, which is to destroy everything. There's nothing that survives it. And then Sarcilo, stone mansion of Circe, forest clearing, Circe's throne. South of Elba, Therion, coastline, Ponza, Mont Circio, Mont Circium, marshland, and sea. They're just different examples of where she was from. Sons of Circe, Romus, Antedius, Adrius. So she created Rome. Telegonus, Ovid's Metamorphosis, Calypso. She's also representative of Calypso. If you've ever watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Calypso is Circe. She can transform. She transforms other people. She knows magic. And they're also amazing at divination. Orphic, Argonautica. Greek magic, Olympus, Hermes. Um, let's see. Circe had the power to hide the sun and moon as she willed. Her brothers, Aeetes, keeper of the golden fleece, father of Medea. Okay, so brother Aeetes, her brother, um, keeper of the golden fleece. The golden fleece is Aries, or it could be seen as the sun, and it can also be seen as ritual sacrifice by the Jews. Um, Island is kind of like you could either save it or like are you saving the Christians? Like the Christians are escaping punishment because you jump on the back of the ram to escape the punishment of um or I guess being absolved for your sins, but you're escaping some form of punishment. Island of Aya Ayaya. Concoct powerful potions. Nymph attendants, flower herbs, a menagerie of animals. The Italian king Picus was the son of Saturn. That's very interesting to know. And that's time. So you can think of that as, other things like David or Jewish, like real Jews, because the Jews migrated a lot. So when they first, or the Hebrews, and before that, even the sons of Noah, basically, God told them stay small, stay a small tribe, but have plenty, but like stay small, so that way like you're not overabundant and taking too much resources. And they were very wealthy, the Ashkenazis, the children of Noah. But they're a very small clan, and they would travel around certain places, so you could see how they were moving around. And those are my ancestors. I have a lot of blood from them, and it's very pure. I don't have anything that mixes in it, like anything inferior. Uh, Poly Polyphemus, Laestrygonians. Telemachus married Circe. Okay, I forgot what that meant. The Laestrygonians. Polyphemus, but Helios was her father, and in Beauty and the Beast, there's Philip. Oh, Polyphemus. Philip was the name of the horse. Isn't that interesting? All right, so the mother was an ocean nymph, and then he brought her to an island. So you can kind of see that as California because it is very close to it, like Hollywood. This is like the island. There was wild domesticated bears, lions, wolves, tamed, and it was about drunkenness. So it was like a food transform men into animals, and so do the drinks. Men then transformed into animals. Love potion, monster maker. Charbitis turned to stone, so she could create monsters as well. Circe poisoned the water. Scylla bathed. Glacis, satiety, had eyes for Scylla. So like if somebody's like trying to manipulate you into like falling in love with them and trying to steal your energy like a succubus or incubus, you can use a spell to turn everybody around them into like dogs where they attack each other and shred each other apart until they become dust or stone where like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. um let's see, let's go. There's a whole bunch of good information that I came up with yesterday, and I think it's helpful for like your magical experimentations. I put Toby as a predator. He's a beast. He's a Slytherin and a Slayer, and that's me. But I'm gonna just show you this. I don't know if I want to show you this information because I feel like it might be detrimental. But Europeans are seen as lambs, so Germany, Europe areas. Um, Africa is and India are seen as the bulls, and then the goats are Latins or Hispanics, and then Asia is swines, and Asia also includes um, Jerusalem and Israel. That's why they say don't cast your pearls at swine, and the Christians left Israel and Jerusalem because they knew that it was full of evil. Um, and then I put colon like Edward Cullen the vampire. That means to clean or to kill out or weed out the bad. So we're gonna see a lot of issues regarding these things. But I think you should know what animal you are if you didn't know. Jonas Brothers, SNL, Gay Agenda, Reproduction, Satan Worshipper, Drugs, Viagra, Red, Black. Those were just things I see on SNL that they're trying to promote. Trap my enemy in prison and torture him for eternity until the end of oblivion. Spell components, garlic to get rid of the vampire, wolf's bane to get rid of the wolves, and then I want to add more for each different animal. So like, what would be a good herb for a pig? What would be I think lavender. What would be a good herb for a goat? Would be like bay leaves or basil. What would be good for a cow? Maybe what's something that's tied to a cow. I don't know. I could think like grass, but that's about it. And then a vampire. I mean, a lamb. Well, these are also vampiric animals. I'm just letting you know. Like a lamb. Um, okay, so if you sacrifice these animals, they become vampires in the after realm, and you can control them and manipulate them to attack people in their dreams, or you could call them incubi or succubi, whatever you want. But a lamb would be um, what kind of herb? I think something like rosemary as well. Something like I think there's something really pretty. I just don't know. But those are the things I want to work on. Muggles, mudbloods ruining my holy sanctuary. Fallen angels, traitors bred among the ranks. So basically, some people exist only because they were like created through sacrificial rituals. So they're basically demonic humans, almost like half demon, half human. And you will meet them everywhere. Like if you know that somebody's preventing you from, it's usually rich people. Rich people are the ones that have demons mixed in them in their souls. So when they go to hell, you don't have to feel bad for them. All right, so Ashkenazi, and like I said, this is how Cersei purifies her warriors to fight. Ashkenazi, that's what I am. Living temple of God. I am the living temple of God. So you don't need a third temple. I'm Aryan. I am the son. I am a son. Obviously, I'm a junior. Pure blood, and my name's David actually. Pure blood, and then God's chosen, and then Slayer of all. So instead of just being a vampire slayer, I want to be a slayer, just period, and just slay all the enemies. White hats, saints equal bad, and then I put Twilight, newborn mate, familiar spirits, humans born through packs of demons, Illuminati slaves. So that's just some information that might help you on your progress in life. You profit from my misery, they call it suffering, yet you experience all the healing. Riches, fortunes, you continue to steal from my purse, call it purpose. You're singing my lyrics at the top of your lungs, and here I am wishing I was a star. Thieves in the night, they call you pop art. Call me a whore in reverse. A whore in reverse would be somebody you take money from, and that's exactly what everyone does to me, like the Illuminati and everyone in cities, everyone that exists. Um, so we have emotions and actions. Let's see. I made a little picture so you can see me using magic to strike the swines, the little goat, the sheep, and the little bull. I want them to realize what's going on. Lerahe and Putrefy is a demon from the Ars Goetia, where it pierces you and you become infected. So I sent out a spell to let me know who is a traitor among my ranks. And then we have also the story of Sinbad and the Seven Seas, or the 1040 Nights or whatever for the Saudi Arabia Aladdin story. So Aladdin, Cersei, Beauty and the Beast, it's the same story, and Jesus Christ are the same story. It's the same story, just told in different ways. So we have the genie, the lamp, the demon. Those are these are the demons he controls. That's Solomon, but he's also David. Um, I think David was Solomon. This is just how he explained his story, was through that form. And then you have these angels that carry the magic carpet, and the magic carpet could be seen as a map. And then Abu, the little familiar monkey, there's a demon in the Ars Goetia called Lucifish Rofokal that you make deals with, and he owns all the money and currency in the world, and he opens doors for you. And that's how people in the Illuminati get places. But now that he's under my control, they can't use it anymore. And then there's just something else. I just forgot what it is, but it's something else. I think this is I don't remember what that is, but it's something. I did it for a reason, but we'll figure that out later. I put Iran. I mean, yeah, Iran versus Israel. And then I put close Venezuela because they're gonna try to do something where they're gonna get Venezuela to help America, but I want to close that off where it makes it more tough for America. I want America to suffer. So we got Prague Alchemy Emperor. I was watching that last night. It was really cool. I think it's called Juan's podcast or One on One. He's like a conspiracy theorist, but he's really smart. America the enemy, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Armenia. So I'm putting down like the enemies of Russia, so I know who to target with my magic and get them in line and force them to work for Putin. Armenia, China, and Taiwan. I'm glad China's fighting back because that's what I want to see. I want to see China take back Taiwan. I want to see China show their power, and I want to see China, if they have to clean out the cabinet, do what you have to do to create that power, because you don't need all that peace. And what, they're gonna keep calling you Pooh Bear, and make you look like you're all happy, yellow, yellow. No. Okay, America wants um Asia territories to keep control of Asia. So that's why they want Taiwan. But Taiwan is going to turn against America. Watch. Ilya Russian defect. So the Russian defects, I think, are just people Putin lets go to warn people what he's going to do next, because they need to know, and that's his way of like saying, hey, like I'm giving you guys a few bits of peace in your life. At least I'm not totally destroying you yet. All right, Los Angeles County born and raised. That's me, and I'm outsourced work from immigrants. So because of immigrants, I don't have a life. I know half of my family is from Mexico, but my other half of my family is Native American, and not only that, but they're also like Americans, like real Americans that grew up cowboys, etc. Even like Italians and all kinds of stuff, like really strong bloodlines. Um, you can't mock me, no questioning my marks. Campaign money, content. So what people do with campaign money is to create content so people get stuck. So you could show like, oh, there's gang violence here, there's drugs here, but you're paying for that because you're giving the money to the governors and they're putting it back on the streets the same way. Make paintings of friends. I drew my friends and I thought they were cool. And then I did another thing like, okay, these are my friends, I'm happy with them. And then these are like my enemies. Somebody else would be like, I was gonna write down names on them and see what it works, but I forgot to do that. Turn the body against the soul. Turn the soul against the body. Turn the body against the mind. So it's a spell to make your own body deteriorate or your mind to go berserk. So either or, one of them is gonna take over and destroy the other. And it's like a good way to destroy humanity without being implicated for it. All right, so we know about the devil's snare from Harry Potter, the roots that come out and try to like grab him. Well, that is actually the burning bush, or it can be seen as Lucifer's Rofokal. You know how Dobby comes into Harry Potter's life? He's also Lucifer's Rofokal, or Abu. And what you do is you put money in a bush, in a burning bush, and you give it, and he brings you money. Like he'll do stuff for you to give you money, and that's how people make pacts with the devil and demonology, etc., the Illuminati. So basically what you do is you get a couple stones, you get those herbs, or you get whatever you want to represent the devil's snare or the burning bush, and then you put the money there and you work your magic. You got to kind of do it in a way where it's a ritual for you to express yourself. So you could probably put diamonds or whatever you want, whatever you have, whatever you know, or whatever you like to, like, um, tweak it up a bit. All right, so I put FBI, CIA, YouTube influencers. I put thieves, and then I put Walmart, and then I put France. So I was basically saying Walmart is kind of representative of the thieves in the world. So FBI are thieves, CIA are thieves. They steal your information. They're thieves. YouTube influencers are thieves. They steal what you're thinking, they steal what you're feeling, and they influence you to keep repeating those cycles so you feel pain. So they're all part of the agenda. I put Hermes, god of thieves, so that's basically saying that Hermes is the god of thieves, so he's sending them to hell. The briefing room, television newscast, TV shows, banks, those are all part of it. I did do a spell to reveal if there's any corruption in the banks, and guess what happened? Floyd Central, 4 dead, 9 others in hospital. I think 5 are confirmed now. Louisville, Kentucky downtown, Monday, April 10th, 2023. Rest in peace, 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon. Killed, gunfire exchange with police. Three officers hurt with a rifle. That's what he had, was a rifle, and he was 23 years old. Okay, and he was living a perfect life. You know somebody's being manipulated. There's some spirit going around that is making itself aware and known, and letting people know that it's here for revenge. I told you magic is real. I told you magic is real. All right, Louisville shooter, live stream, Floyd, grade hair, Welsh. That's what Floyd means, grade hair, Welsh. It means Lloyd, Wales, flood, Scotland. So it's giving you an idea. Wales and Scotland. Scotland, okay, for Wales is King Charles, the King of Wales. So it's letting you know, why does it keep repeating Floyd? Because it's trying to show he's trying to go into power. He's trying to create a flood of his own influence. So he's trying to take over. King Charles is trying to take over. All right, so we got name brand clothes, fashion. That's how they make their money. I put China isn't cooperating because I feel like it's always like backing, like pushing against Russia, but I wanted to work with Russia. But I get it. If you need to like pretend that you aren't friends to like keep going, then that's what you got to do. I put eliminate Andrew Tate. I hate him. He's just proof that child trafficking exists and that he is just a commercial for them, so people can be like, oh, look at he does that. Let's go to him and make business like that. So it's just promotional material for his trafficking business. China is ready for war. Um, Biden's bank subpoena, and then I put LASD active shooter training, and then court summon. Oh, I put what is a court summon? Yeah, there's a word for that, but I wanted to know what that meant. Gascon immigrant rights, police, fear of deportation. I mean, these are all like really important topics, and I feel like I could go deeper into them, but they're kind of, I don't know. Okay, Kentucky governor friend sacrifices. So the Kentucky governor sacrifices friend because he's like, oh, one of those people were my friends that got shot. Yeah, we know. So now we know you're corrupt. There's something going on. Venezuela oil. Okay, Saudi Arabia versus America. That's gonna happen. Defense Ministry Yoav Galant. And then I put Colts Breeding Farms. I put Buddhist Hell, Ethan Klein, Moist Charlie, and Philip DeFranco. And then I put Kami God, Kaze Wind. Biden Good Friday, Northern Ireland. Murphy Blast Putin, Wall Street Journal. Reporter, a New Jersey native, jailed in Russia. Good job. We don't want those spies. But there also may be communications going on. Dalai Lama kisses boy wanted boy to suck on tongue. That's disgusting. But I'm telling you, magic is real. I said reveal my enemies, and look at everybody who's revealing themselves. Interesting, right? And it's showing you that they're getting punished immediately by their actions. But I want to focus on Ethan Klein, Moist Critical, and Philip DeFranco. I feel like I really hate people on the internet. I'm just letting you know, and they're part of that group of people that like to influence, and I don't agree with it. But I do like how Philip DeFranco was doing like a whole bunch of news information on the war, so it's kind of letting me know he's working for them, working for the Illuminati. All right, next year's solar total eclipse. They're getting ready for next year's solar total eclipse. What that means is it's a totalis, which means that like a totalitarian government. So there's going to be a one world order government, and this is the ritual for it. That we're getting very close, so close. We're almost there. We are basically there. Ras Al Ain, Lebanon, had Mama, Representative Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, Covenant Presbyterian school shooting. Just different things that happened. Summon, command, obey, repress, pride, night, spirit of Saturn, death, ruin, and destruction, exorcise or exorcism, possession, quake, heavens tremble. So that was on Saturday. Saturn is the god of time and death and life, and he is also representative of your body. Your body is Saturn. You're a part of the earth. You're part of, you're a movable part of earth, of a combination of elements. um I put using peace to conquer, kill with kindness, and then there's a spell called holy. So it basically evaporates your spirit from your body and allows what I guess you could get possessed after that, because you're exorcised and then you have no spirit, so you're basically an empty vessel for demons to possess you. And then I put quake, heavens tremble, and it makes you shake and it destroys you. It's a Saturn magic. And these are all pentacles that are in this book, and it's all detailed and everything you need to know. But it's how do you use your magic? How do you become a wizard? How do you become a mechanic and create these inventions? Just like Belle's father was an inventor, and he is Apollyon or Helios. And Apollo means apologize. That's why she's the redeemer. She makes you apologize to her. And there are spells to force people to apologize to you, and it's been documented in history. One of them is called Person, I think, or Perphilus is a demon that forces your enemies to apologize to you. The flying carpet is a map. I put Epona song, which is the horse song, and it did help summon the horses because the horses pull the chariot of the sun, and they are actually dragons as well. Putrefy Larahe. So just another one of me using magic to like blast my enemies. It's fun stuff. Just little picture diagram stuff. Alright. Alright, this is another demon called Vignette. He's a tree. Well, in Pokemon, he's Executor. He breaks the western wall. He's a vine. You can see him like using Vine Whip, but he's also psychic. He has powers. Let's see. This is what I just put. Toby, country, USA, state, California, Los Angeles County, Silmar, Arleta, Pacoima. I put April 8th, 2023. I was born 5/27/89. All right. So Vine, Rageki, haunted remote viewing, always being monitored by enemies. And then I put Hi Little Goat, and I'm attacking it. And then I put Who's Haunting Me. So it reveals who's haunting you, and you strike them. It's a great spell. Yeah. So I'm back to this one. How to make people humble. And let's see. Okay, I think that's good. We went through them all. I can't believe I actually finished the whole thing. Cool. I didn't expect that. Or did I not? No. I got one more. This is the one from this morning. Los Angeles, Maryland, FBI. Biden ends national COVID-19 threat assistance. So he's saying that there's no more threat, but wait, there's more. We'll see what's next. All right. Tornado damage. Montebello warehouse closes. So that's letting you know nature's turning against the Illuminati, and they're ruining their places of business. 2021 Huntington Beach spill pipeline. Resistant bacteria. There's a new bacteria that's resistant to antibiotics, and it causes diseases. So we're gonna be seeing a ultra powerful virus or disease that is not even, I don't want to call it a virus because I feel like you could prevent a virus, but this is gonna be something above that. Found in water, Los Angeles, place of worship, close them. So I want to close down all the places of worship. Juice jacking. I want to say juice jacking is when you stick your phone into an outlet and then they steal your information. But let's think about that. Juice jacking. They're stealing your juice. They're using incubi and succubi to steal your power from you. Just letting you know. All right, Cow Hope. And that's the thing that's going on in LA. That's what they're saying is like, hey, like, where we got caught. Somebody caught us, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I caught you. Like I said, Artemis is the moon. She's a huntress. You gonna get caught. All right, Cow Hope mental health. After, I swear, I did some spells, and then the TV put Cow Hope mental health, and I was like, all right, let's play, let's play. I like this game. All right, and there's a lawyer named Sweet James. I don't know why he's so popular, but we're gonna find out. I don't like his name that much because it is representative of the Illuminati agenda. And then we have abortion, pill, and then Jonathan Myth, Preston, and then number one way to die is fentanyl. And I don't believe that's true, but I think what the hell is fentanyl? I'm gonna do a spell to create maybe I can mix the bacteria with fentanyl. I think that'll be cool. All right, so Inglewood Transit. I think something happened over there. Oh, okay, so they're gonna build like a new transit or like a train railway through there or something, and it's gonna take out Inglewood. So they're like getting people out of Inglewood, and that's another spell I did was to get rid of people out of cities. So it's working. Unruly singing at live shows. So I also did another spell where I said no more people are allowed to be artists or perform or even enjoy entertainment anymore. And the guests at the show were just singing over the like the actors. So it goes to show you they're getting possessed. I'm telling you guys, everything connects. You just gotta, little by little, you're gonna find out the ingredients. All right, so Saturn, the star, Astara represents the body. Basketball, the crypt, crib young. So when you're young, you grow up in a crib. When you're old, you're put in the crypt. And then but they're doing a basketball thing, so it's letting you know that there's some kind of death ritual going on in the Illuminati. Helped grandma with alcohol in her car, love, etc. Oh, that was part of the dream that I had. Okay, so let's see. $20 billion debt. Russia cancels Africa's $20 billion debts. Why doesn't America do that for us? A president could be like, I'm erasing all the debt that we have for this or that. I don't care. Just do it. But they don't. You know why? Because they're controlling us and they're the enemies. And that's why the magic is doing what it's doing. But it's going to get worse. It's called chaos for a reason. And Nyx. And then you got Hecate. Those are your dreams. That's what you trying to go to sleep. You're not going to be able to sleep. Not anymore. Not with those spirits running around. Cole, the spies that witness lives. So those are spies and thieves. Cole, the spies that witness my life. So if you have a spy, you know how everybody's like, oh, you got an FBI agent or something. I'm doing a spell to get rid of them. So I don't know. You might have them, but I'm not gonna have them after a while. Watch, they're gonna be too scared to keep an eye on this game. All right, so we got hate crime on Islamic Center somewhere in California where they. But I told you I'm closing down places of worship, so I'm gonna make sure that the demons do their jobs and get to work. Malware on USB outlets public, so you can get malware if you plug in your phone to certain places outside of your house. Even in your house, they could still take your information. I'm telling you, it's easy for them. EPA limits tailpipe emission. So they're trying to cut like gasoline or fuel cars. And what I see that as is a way for them to control you to create cars that are technological and they can decide what they want to do with you, if they want your car to stop or keep moving, etc. Or even blow up or drive it off a road or a cliff like they have been doing with Teslas. Teslas are very dangerous. You see them on the news all the time crashing into people. Politics is mental illness. Religion is mental illness. And then I put one man's opinion. Yes, one man's opinion will affect you all. I will affect every human being on this earth, and you will all have to obey my commands. Spring, summer, winter, fall. So spring is Aries or Mars. Summer is Mercury. Fall is I think I did that wrong. Okay, so fall. Yeah, summer is Mercury. Fall is Venus because that's when the fruits come out, and then or that's when you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, and then winter, which is Friday, and then winter is Thursday, which is the cold. So you can see the trees as something that can withstand snow and freezing temperatures. But then you have Saturn, which represents the root or of the tree. That's why it has that little tail, and it's represented by time because roots withstand time. You get those rings on the tree. Um, Piccolo is Hermes. No, there's just combinations of the spell, but you can kind of see. You can once you gain a grasp of the understanding of language, you can grab more information and be able to pull out information. In a dream, you see the enemy take form of family to cause strife. I put Twilight Paramore. I was dreaming that I was at my grandmother's house. They were playing Twilight or Paramore in the house, and they wouldn't let me in. And there was like and I had a magical broomstick so I could fly around and see who's trying to like influence me or like manipulate me or who's spying on me. And I saw their kids and I saw who they live and work with. I was just witnessing. There's also spells to see who your what your enemy's house looks like. So what what are your enemy's weaknesses? And then I put find my enemy, revelio la verdad. And then I put someone that's not related or known has information and viewed me growing up because there was a girl there, a woman who saw me growing up since I was a child, and she was able to somehow manage the Illuminati with them to be able to make that money. So not only is this like my story, I know a lot of people go through it as well, but I think mine's a little more significant because I'm the one with all the wealth, with the money. Um, yeah, so I had this really cool broom. They were like, "You can fly on that?" I'm like, "Yup." And I just flew into the air with a branch, literally. Like it was a nice branch that looked like a broom. All right, so yeah, I was sleeping on the dirt at one point, and it was just letting me know who's like basically why I'm living in poverty, who's responsible for it, and it showed me um the children of the spies that view me, and they were telling me who their parents were. Someone is using polyjuice and trying to influence people I know. I put Haley Williams manager. I don't know who that is. Right? But then I found out there's this guy that does he owns Warner Brothers music stuff. I forgot his name already. I think it's something Kinkle. All right. Blessed with a chainsaw, the young king bounces off the image of an ally to hack or speedrun his bed and house. And then I fall asleep on a bed and there's like two girls in it and I'm like, huh? And then it's so comfy and then it's like Nino Cooney style, so it was really cool. I was like it was like a video game, so I was like running around everywhere doing magic, and then like if I saw somebody that looked like they were trying to pretend to be me, like I could protect people, I could hurt them, I could do whatever I wanted, and I had like this chainsaw and like I could jump into the sky, land on somebody with the chainsaw, and it'll like break open their head, reveal their secrets, and I will land in a spot that they're trying to keep me away from. So if they're trying to prevent me from doing something that I want, my spell is really working great, phenomenally. So you might actually hear on the news somebody getting hurt like that. Because that's what usually happens. My dreams are weird like that. Uh, I put dogs, and then I put music, film, video games. Those are the three things that are stealing from me. So music industry, the film industry, and the video game industry. Of course, fashion industry as well, but I'm just saying those are three top tiers. I put grandmother's wealth increases, and then I put black men spying on me because they were black men. Um, but let's see. But my I did see my grandmother have like a lot of alcohol in her car, and that means that she's going to be very rich soon, and that the ancestors are blessing her with the protection now that we know who the enemy is, or who is spying on our lives. So yesterday, Wesley. Oh no, that was today. Beast. Okay, jellyfish by the wind sailors, California beaches. So at the beach there was like a whole bunch of jellyfish, but they're called by the wind sailors, and it's kind of showing you that's like a ritual sacrifice. They washed up on shore, but that means that those spirits are gonna attack humans in California, and at the beaches there's been a lot of problems lately, and that's exactly what I want to happen. I want, and the ports have been shutting down. There's a lot of things going on. People are evacuating from California, so my magic is working. So I'm just letting you know, I'm the sorcerer that's conquering California and Los Angeles. So you gotta get in line. Well, not in line because what I'm saying is get out of town. All right. So attack the bull. NATO, Finland, Western Alliance, Fog, Helios, White Sun, Cersei, Santa Clarita Riverside, Danger Air, Dang Air, David Sear, China, Taiwan. David Sear means like he's seeing the future for what David wants, and so he's basically my mouthpiece, supposedly. Super Bloom, Northern California, LA, Antelope Valley, and then I put healing, and then I put weaponized soul energy, and then I put Polyon, apologize, and I put Robert Pattinson, El Ladrón, El Gacho, El Guandón, Revelar, Confesión. So it's like confess. I'm doing a spell to make them confess what they've done, all the evil they've done, and then another spell called Inferno. There's a Robin robot. It is so freaking cool. I love it. I can't wait to see more robots. But that's what I want, an army of robots to destroy humanity. Morning news, answers, green, Venus, the truth, la verdad. Verde, la verdad, la green, the truth. It's the truth will be revealed. All right, so cool. I think I went over everything. We're good to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Put in the comments whatever you want. I don't care. Like, subscribe. Who cares? Bye.